everybody, and welcome to Dan's Tech, and today we're going to be having a look at the Division 2 and its settings. Now, over the last couple of weeks I have done numerous amounts of testing on this game to bring this video to you, and there's two stages. The first stage is going to show you great visuals with a decent FPS, and the second stage is going to show you okay visuals with a very high FPS. Now, I do want to state at the beginning that I have disabled some of the software on my system. For instance, the two 1070 Ti's, the SLI is disabled. One is running the game and the other one is running OBS. I also want to state that the 1900X normally runs in a creative mode, but I've disabled that and put it into game mode. So instead of the 8 cores 16 threads, it's currently running the Division 2 at 4 cores and 8 threads. I am also running the game at 1080p in windowed full screen. So let's jump on over to the first benchmark and show you the settings to get great visuals with a decent FPS. So let's kick things off with the high visual settings and low FPS. So window full screen, I run all my games in window full screen. Primary monitor is actually the 0 because that's the one that I'm using. Enabled reduced latency, so this reduces the input lag and may cause lower frame rates. I have that off, no real need for it. And enabled DX12 renderer, so DX12 to render, I also have off. But let's move on over to graphics, and obviously graphics quality is going to be custom because you're going to change all this to your own personal preferences, but this is what I found that is the best. And as I said, I'm running a 1070 Ti doing this, so it may change for a 1060 or 1050 Ti. Obviously it will be higher with other cards like 1080 Ti, the 16 series of GPUs from Nvidia, and also the RTX series. But let's go Pascal cards at the moment, and obviously everybody else can follow and change as they like. VSync is off, frame rate limit is on, and it's set to 200 as a custom FPS limit. Now, shadow quality, so the quality of the shadows and objects on scene is very high. The spot shadows, so the number of spotlight shadows that can appear on the screen is also on high. Spot shadow resolution, and the level of this resolution of the shadows created by spotlights I have as ultra. Contact shadows is off. Resolution scale, so this is obviously scaling the resolution at 100%. Sharpening is on at 10, so this is the focus or the softening of elements on the screen, so that's the highest it can go. Particle detail, so obviously the detail of particles is high. Volumetric fog, the rendering of fog volumes is high. Reflection quality, as it says on the tin, reflection of the quality of the reflection, is also high, and the local reflection quality is also high. Vegetation quality is also high, and I have subsurface scattering on. The anisotropic filtering is currently on at ×8. Parallax mapping I have as off. Ambient occlusion is high. Depth of field is on, and the object details is at 50. Extra streaming distance, so the longer object streaming distance uses more memory and hard drive capacity. I've got 0. Neutral lighting and lens flare I have off, along with vignette effect I also have off, and the water quality is set on high. Chromatic aberration is on. Projected texture resolution is 512. Now this is the sort of resolution of projected textures. That is the highest it can go. High resolution sky textures is also on. Terrain quality is also on high. So let's get out of this and jump straight on in to see how it actually performs when you're running through the game.
You like that, Agent?
So now let's go on to the low settings and high FPS, and as you can see I'm sat around 130 to 140 FPS. I haven't changed anything on the video side of things, but let's go on into the graphics. So I have changed nothing here until shadow quality. Shadow quality, spot shadows and spot shadow resolution are now on low. Contact shadows are still off, resolution still at 100%, sharpening is now at 5. Particle detail, volumetric fog, reflection quality, local reflection quality and vegetation quality are all on medium. Subscattering I've left on. The anisotropic filtering I've changed from ×8 to ×2. I've left the parallax mapping off. Ambient occlusion is now on medium. And the depth of field is still on, but the object details are now 30. The extreme distance is still off. Neutral lighting, lens flare and Vignan effect are still off. And the water quality is on low. The chromatic aberration is on. I haven't changed the projected texture resolutions, they're still at 512. The high sky resolution textures are still on, and the terrain quality is low. So now I'm sat around about 140 FPS, shall we say. Let's now go on to the gameplay and see what it's actually like, and do you lose all those visuals and get higher FPS for much better gameplay.
Incoming backup request.
He's getting too close.
Got you. Take that. I'm out.
So I also benchmarked both of my results, and I'm going to go with the high settings and low FPS first. I got a score of 7,429. That was with an average of 83 FPS, my GPU being at 80% and my CPU being at 44%. I then went and done the low settings high FPS and got a score of 12,878. I got an average FPS of 144, my GPU was at 90% and my CPU was at 41%. So that's my findings for the Division 2. I managed to get a 53.7% increase in FPS just by adjusting those settings. And yes, you do lose a bit of visuals, but you know, if you're chasing that frames per second, then those are the settings that I found that work best for me. However, if you did like the video, then please do give me a thumbs up. Please do hit that subscribe button. Please do click that bell icon for more notifications from myself. And I shall see you all in the next video.